What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good day. Decided to do a 2013-2014 Shelby GT500 buyer's guide. I know there is a lot of different buyer's guides out there for the Shelbys 07 to 14, but I wanted to do one specifically dedicated to the 13-14 as there's a handful of options and parts that make them very significant. We're going to start with the outside of the car first. Nothing too crazy. First thing you want to look for, which is something I've seen a lot, is these stripes. That one sounds silly, but make sure when you're looking at one, make sure the vehicle's not missing any stripes. Saw one just the other day. The rear bumper was missing the stripes. Found the car in an accident. I had a friend of mine asking about it. So always make sure the vehicle has all the stripes. They will always have the rocker panel stripes. That is not like a deleted option or anything like that. Now, you can buy them with stripeless GT500s. It was actually a factory option. If you didn't opt for it, you always got the stripes no matter what. Carrying around to the outside of the vehicle, you also could get the track package. Now, the track package came with the external transmission cooler. It also came with a external differential cooler, you can kind of see in there, and you also have a external air-to-air oil cooler. Kind of hard to see, but it is in there. That was the track package. You could also opt for the handling package or performance package. Usually it would be track pack and performance pack. The performance pack included the adjustable Bilstein suspension. Kind of peek through here and see it. Came with rear remote reservoir shocks. The fronts are not remote reservoir, but they are adjustable suspension. Standard and sport, so nothing crazy. And it also came with a torsion diff, limited slip differential. Those were the performance package options. The Recaro seats were also an option. So you could still get a track package car without Recaro seats if you wanted to. Either one. All 13-14 GT500s only came with 331 gears. That was so they could do 200 miles an hour. So somebody says, oh, well, it has 373s or anything like that. They were changed. They are not factory gears. Moving on around, they all have the LED taillights, which, in my opinion, are hands down the best taillights out of all the years and everything for the GT500s or the Mustangs in general. They do come with the quad tip exhaust. Mine has the Super Snake axle back, but they come with quad tip exhaust. Most people do know that looking for them. This car, on mine, I actually have the base wheels. All track packs came with the more spider type this more spider type wheels, almost looking like BBS wheels, kind of. The base GT500s that didn't have the performance pack or the track pack, anything like that, they came with these wheels. I think these wheels look a lot better in my opinion, but that is one thing to look for when you're looking at a GT500. If it has these wheels, odds are it probably doesn't have a track pack or a performance pack. So that's something to think about if you're looking for one. You know, not a big deal, but I like these wheels. You can obviously buy these wheels. You can find them on eBay. They're a little bit harder to find, but they are out there. They pull a little bit more money, and I definitely think they look a little bit cleaner. Also, going along the outside of the vehicle, the 13-14s were the only ones that came with the front splitter edition to help with downforce for going 200 miles an hour. Kind of a nice feature. If yours does not have one, ask the current owner of it or the dealership if they have one. A lot of times people bought them and they never installed them from the dealership, so they just never got put on. If it doesn't have one, it's not a big deal at all. You can buy one off eBay, or still most Ford dealerships carry them. You can buy them for about 150 bucks. Not a big deal. Moving on to the trunk. One other cool thing that these come with, make sure when you do pick yours up, you have the car cover with it. Car cover is, I believe, $400 if it's not included. You can sometimes find them used on, you know, other Shelby pages or Facebook groups. Some guys sell them, you know. But definitely make sure you get the car cover. Super nice car cover, great quality. These cars do not come with spare tires either. They have the pump. None of the GT500s actually came with spare tires. So not anything significant to the 1314s, but don't be surprised if you don't see a spare tire. One feature this car does not have is the sub. That would be the Shaker 1000 system. That is a pretty rare option, believe it or not. If it does have it, it will be right here in the right rear corner of the trunk. I think you can add them, but I've never seen one actually add one to it. Honestly, the stock sound system still sounds really, really good in these cars. But I believe you can add them. I have seen them up for sale on eBay and stuff from time to time. You know, when you are going around the vehicle, obviously nothing crazy. Always pay close attention to your stripes. Make sure, you know, that they all look like they're factory matching. Sonic blue stripes are especially obvious. White stripes are easy to get away with. The matte black stripes are easy to get away with. But if you have like the red stripes or the Sonic blue stripes, they are very obvious on, you know, their gloss, everything like that. They're hard to replicate. Moving around also, another rare option, which my car does not have, is the glass roof. I did have another GT500 that had the glass roof. It's a super cool option, very rare option. You know, but it's definitely those ones, if you can find it, it's a really, really cool option to get. You know, a lot of guys, they will only buy them with a glass roof, but you definitely pay a little more money for those ones. All 2013 14s came with the 6-piston Brembos. There are 15-inch front rotors on there. The rears are 14-inch rotors, which is only on the 13 14s, with the single piston calipers. I don't know why Ford did that, but it is what it is. That is most of the exterior options you want to look for on these. You know, we're gonna move under the hood, check out a few things to look for when you're purchasing one, just to make sure, you know, you're not gonna miss anything or run into some kind of new headache problem. A couple things to look for under the hood. When you get under here, see if it has a stock supercharger. Mine obviously does not. The stock supercharger will say SVT, 5.8 on, I believe 5.8's on this side, SVT's on this side. It's silver, it's 2.3. I usually recommend to buy a stock one. I bought mine modified. If you are buying a modified one, do the very best you can if you're buying it from a dealership to try and get in contact with the previous owner. Find out all the modifications done to it. You know, it'll help you a lot. Find out who tuned it. It can save you a lot of headaches in the long run. It really can. But always try and find a stock one, in my opinion. A couple things to look for under the hood. This cam sensor right here, those tend to leak fairly often on these. Mine doesn't, but something to peek under the hood, make sure it is sealed and is not leaking. I don't know why I've seen a handful of times on these. Another thing super important to check for, the intercooler tank. The 1314s have a bigger intercooler pump than all the other years. So Ford, or SVT, did a different system. The intercooler system does a straight loop past the expansion tank. So when you turn the car on and the intercooler pump activates, intercooler pump's right there. When the intercooler pump activates, you will see very, very, very little water flow through here. Now I'm only telling you this because these cars do have an issue with burning up the factory harness. Easy to fix, but it's something to look for, and it can cause you a lot of headaches if you don't know. One thing you can do when the engine's running and the intercooler pump's going, if you really want to make sure it's working, take this hose right here, pinch that hose down, and the tank should turn into a slush fest in there pretty much. And then once it's loose, you'll hardly see any water moving through it at all. But just something to look for when you're buying one. Make sure the intercooler pump is working, because if not, like I said, that will cause you some headaches and tuning issues, and the car will feel very, very, very down on power, and that's not fun. nothing else too crazy to look for under the hood. I mean, these engines are really, really bulletproof, up to about 800 wheel horsepower. Couple things, when you do start it up, listen to both driver and passenger side banks. Up front here by the tire. Listen to them cold, listen to them warmed up. Want to make sure they're not ticking. Every once in a while, these cars seem to have a faulty lash adjuster, multiple lash adjusters, and they can cause a tick. Listen to the engine when it's cold on the sides. Go out, drive it, beat on it a little bit, come back, listen to the engine while it's hot on both sides. Pay close attention, give it a few revs. You know, if you're buying this car, you're probably buying it, you know, to modify it and beat on it more. You want to make sure you don't have any issues. So you will hear them. It's pretty obvious if it does have the lifter tick, is what I call it. It can be fixed, but it's not cheap. Just needs new lash adjusters. So another important thing too, if you are buying a brand new, or if you're buying a modified GT500, make sure it comes with a tuner. It's an old one, it's XCal 3, XCal 4, Lund N gauge, you know. Make sure it comes with one of these. It will at least tell you who tuned the car, probably, and it will give you the opportunity to further tune the car, return it to stock, anything like that you might need to do. Definitely important, you know. If you do buy from a dealership, try and get in contact with the owner, previous owner. Save you a lot of headaches. Couple things to look for into the inside the interior. One thing I did with mine is I changed the lighting on the SVT badge to blue. It's not hard to do. A couple good reps on SVT performance. They are red though. All the time they're red, so don't expect them to be blue when you open the door. They're always red from the factory. Steering wheel has the Alcantara added to it. It's a really cool feature. Another interesting thing to note with these, the 2013s will have the pony right here on the LCD display. The 2014s will have the Cobra. So if you're not sure what year, it's not listed, you're like, oh, what year is this car? If it has the Cobra, it's a 14. If it has the horse, it's a 13. There were some very late production built 2013s that had the Cobra, so I've been told. Never seen one, but some of them may have it. Either way, 99% of the time, if it has the Cobra, it's a 14. Horse, it's a 13. Nav was an option with the dual climate control. If you do have the handling package, you get the button for the shocks. Press it for sport, which will tell you right here, neutral or sport, steering, and then you have launch control. Launch control is pretty easy to activate. All through your display, it will tell you all different kinds of things. You'll have your track apps. You'll have your launch control, which you can set on or off, RPM settings, accelerometer, timer, all different kinds of cool things with the track package, or performance package. Definitely a great option to get. Most of them have it. It's very rare to find one that does not have it. You'll see when you turn it on, it has your gauge cluster in here, which you can get right here, gauge mode. You'll have air fuel ratio. Mine reads 10.0 because I'm on E85. They normally read 14.0. That's the way Ford has theirs. Normally people say 14.7. These ones are just 14.0. You'll have your boost, your inlet temperature, your oil pressure, which it's not a gauge. It just says normal oil pressure. If you want to actually know what your oil pressure is, you can always add an aftermarket gauge like I did. Always telling you what that is. They have your oil temperature. Kind of cool. It'll tell you, you know, not an exact temperature, but at least let you know how hot you're getting with the oil temp. Battery voltage, nothing crazy. So all the 1314s have the LCD display. That's only for the 1314s. But you know, spend a lot of time looking it over. Don't, you know, just blow through it. Don't just, you know, fall in love with it immediately. Take your time. Check Carfax. Check all that good stuff. because it can save you a lot of headaches in the long run. Other than that, that about wraps it up for interesting things to look for with these cars. Hope this video helps anybody looking for a 1314 Shelby. They're awesome cars, you know, and they have a lot of great factory features. Just some good things to go over and look for when you're purchasing one. If you have any questions, you can always go down to the comment section, leave me a comment. I'll guarantee to answer it for you. If you want to follow me on Instagram also, I answer a lot of questions on there too. My Instagram is @GT500guy. Pretty simple. That about wraps up most of the video. If I can think of anything else, I'll try and add it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.